Hi guys. Welcome once again back here to my podcast channels. Myself, Josie, with Josie Says, Pues está cabrón. I know what you guys are thinking. What in the heck is she holding? It's my microphone, guys. I don't have the clip and I don't have the top. So, it's on the way, but Amazon takes 2 days and more right now with the holidays and stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I cannot prolong this. Let's do this. So, first and foremost, like always, apologies, my friends, for not being quick on it and faster on it with these videos. You guys, like I always tell you guys, I have 2 kids and we are nonstop with these kids. I'll link down below 2 links. We just finished doing a birthday weekend with my kids at Disneyland. We rented a room and everything, and they had the time of their life. I'm not even gonna lie, I had the time of my life. So we're busy with that. We're busy with the holidays now coming up and all that. So I'm like, you know what? Let me get this out of the way. Oh, hence the Disneyland nails. So yeah, so let's get started. As you guys see by the title of this video, let's talk about a disclaimer. I hope that everybody understands that the purpose of Josie Says Pues está cabrón. It'll be 3 years, guys. 3 years. My 3-year anniversary is coming up. I started this to give you guys my thoughts and opinions about certain situations, está cabrón situations, and I hope you guys understand that that's what they are. They're just my opinion. I have had many of you guys go on my Instagram. This is my Instagram, guys. Josie Says Pues está cabrón podcast, and really dissect the topics I'm talking about. Like it's like not what the topic was even meant to be. But I feel like many of you guys, a majority of you guys, to tell you guys the truth, always want to prove me wrong. But I hope you guys understand that when you give an opinion, you can't prove them wrong, but that's your opinion, right? What I'm just trying to say is, guys, don't dissect it too deep. It's just my opinion on things. Don't go out of your way and write me a 5-page, message on Instagram trying to prove to me that I'm wrong and what I'm talking is not the way it's supposed to. No, I don't get it. Like, guys, and understand that I know sometimes my topics can go a different direction. For example, when I started talking about who's at fault, with the toxic moms or the absentee father, and everybody started talking about, well, what about the toxic dad? And okay, but we weren't talking about the toxic dad. We were talking about this situation. So before, let me finish my rant and get into what I want. That leads us into right now what this video is going to be about. Understand that these are just my opinions, my thoughts. I have been alive for 39 years, so I have now, I guess I could say, I have a portfolio now, guys, of what I do and do not want to do. So it's not like I'm a 15-year-old telling you guys my opinion and have not lived life. I've lived a couple lives. So with that being said, as the title says, these are going to be, I'm going to share with you guys some, I guess, traditions, or, you guys know I'm Mexican. I know under Mexican you call say you're Latina because, the umbrella and all that. But we're going to just keep it to what I am. And you guys know I am 100% Mexican. I do have Mexican raised parents who raised us in the Mexican tradition way, I guess you could say. So when I say, things that as a parent myself am not going to repeat or continue in my Mexican family. So these are a couple things that I have seen over and over. Of course, I see it also on TikTok, and sometimes I'm like, okay, and sometimes I'm like, no. So we're going to start with the first thing I will not continue in my parenting skills or my family-oriented ways. A while back, I put on my Instagram, and I'm going to put it up here again, guys, on my story, and I asked, was this abuse or not. And it was of this girl teaching her, and I think this kid might have been not more than a year old, how to pound. Right? They were giving him bottles and teaching him how to pound, and how to open su boquita so people could pour liquor in his mouth in the future, I guess. So I asked of you guys, is this abuse or not abuse? And I was surprised, guys. I really thought you guys were gonna come at me, but a lot of you guys said that was abuse. So, like I said, it's the kid might have not been over a year. So somehow in our culture, we have made it such a prideful thing for you to know how to drink or hold your liquor or take 19 shots within an hour for whatever reason. My parents were not those parents. They did not think it was cute for any underage drinking. I don't even think they still think it's cute for, I'm almost 40 and they still don't think it's cute if I have a beer too. But what I did see among my family when we got together was that, yes, drinking was a very, very, important thing, I guess you could say. There was always beer. Everywhere you were, there was always beer and liquor. The reason why I don't think we should so much make it part of our culture, nobody talks about the consequences of being raised to think that you soothe your emotions with alcohol, you party and celebrate with alcohol, and if you're bored, then you drink alcohol. Because nobody ever talks about, seriously talks about or gives an example of you trigger some of these men and women who have an addictive personality and mentally, they're very addictive. And now we have alcoholics. And I know that in our culture, we have thought that it's so cute that we always have that one alcoholic deal, right? Oh, we always have that one alcoholic deal. Yeah, and we kind of normalized it. My thing is, we don't talk about how these men get drunk and women get drunk. And some of them come home and beat up on their children and beat up on their wives or vice versa. And when they do, they don't understand the impact. If they're being agresivo and they're beating up on their wife and they're just screaming all this nonsense, they don't realize the impact they're making on the children. Now you have traumatized them. I don't care what anybody says. You will be traumatized if you hear a bottle pop or your dad raises his voice, your mom raises his voice. It gets embedded in your memories, right? And it triggers you. Sometimes when we're older, we don't understand why we get triggered by some things. And that can be one reason, guys. So what I'm not going to do in my upbringing of my kids is I'm not going to idolize drinking. What I am going to do is normalize talking about responsibilities once you're in the age of drinking, and normalizing that, you know what, baby, if you happen to get out of hand or whatever, you can call me. We're not going to get behind the wheel. We're not going to think we could drink and drive. No, absolutely not. I'm going to get mad for an hour because you woke me up from a deep sleep. But you know what? It's better than you going to jail forever for causing an accident and people dying from it. I don't know what the future holds for my kids, but I do want to have the diminished possibility of them thinking and idolizing drinking and thinking that is how you cope. That is how you cope. I'm going to, let me speak it into existence, not to idolize the drinking, not to idolize, to make it part of who they are as a Mexican American. I don't want them to think that is the norm, so to speak. So, yes, that will be number one. Number two, I don't want my son, and this maybe is the reason why, we have more Mexican men that drink. I don't want him to think it's not okay to think that he has feelings. I'm the same with my daughter. I want them to know it's okay to be upset about things. It's okay to cry about things. And it's okay. All of that. What I'm also not going to do, and this intertwines with each other, is call them stupid or demoralize them because they are crying over some things. It's very easy for us to, as grown people, 39 years old, to look at our kids, mine are 14 and 11, and say, por esas pendejadas estás llorando? Por esas pendejadas? Because we've been through it. And now we have learned that, crying over spilled milk, that's really not the way you're supposed to do it. But what we tend to do a lot in our culture is belittle the person who is going through some emotions, right? You want a reason to cry? ¿Quieres llorar con ganas? The one that my mother used to tell us a lot is, you only cry the day you see me at a casket. That's la única vez. Cuando ya esté muerta. And I'm like, oh, God. So then you really do start having conflicts with yourself because you're like, okay, my mom's not dead yet. Why am I crying? We need to understand, as the bigger whole, not just in our Mexican culture, that they're not there yet. They're learning, guys. They're learning to do, what consists of a big problem to them. Not finding their favorite shoe porque no lo ponieron away is a problem for them. But instead of pendejeándolos, porque eres una pinche cochina, no saben dónde tirar sus... Llegan y tiran. No. Peacefully find your USA. Find your USA and peacefully take that as a teachable moment. Mamas, I'm going to help you find that shoe. I know you're upset. But if you're upset, we're not going to have better chances of finding the shoe. This is how I would do it, guys. Again, before you guys come at me with, all this other stuff. So after we find the shoe that was underneath the sofa, just like we said, be like, mamas. So next time when we get home from work, when we get home from school, hay que quitarnos los zapatos and put it where they're supposed to go, baby. That way we don't have this again. You see how upset you got? And this could have been prevented, mamas. Right? This is going to ruin your day if you continue to be upset about that shoe. So let's start positive. And we found it. And now we know for next time, lo vamos a poner donde tiene que estar. Instead of, like a lot of our Mexican parents did, pinche pendeja. If you don't find your shoe, no vamos a ir y te dejo, right? So now you're stressed out. I need to find it. They're going to leave me. Oh my God. And, and I know from some of you guys, maybe this is not the way, and God bless your parents. But majority of us were raised like that. Majority of us were raised to always be insulted when we made a mistake. Again, we can't say, oh, ¿y yo? Porque yo nunca pierdo los zapatos. Porque yo sí. Okay. But you are now older. And you now experienced it because maybe we had a job that we almost ran late to because we didn't put that shoe away, or we didn't put or we didn't get ready for the next day. So we learn from that experience. That's what we need to be a little bit more, not compassionate, but more understanding with our kids. Instead of getting pissed because we know how to do things already. And then we get mad at them because, oh my God, only has this pinche zapato, right? And I'm using the zapato, guys, because majority of the time is that damn shoe, right? So we find ways, and let me tell you guys, it doesn't mean we're going to get it right the first time. It doesn't mean we're not going to, that it's not going to happen after that. You're going to do a teacher moment and lifetime channel, ya aprendió la lección. It's going to take them a while, just like it took us a while to understand how to do things a certain way. So number two, guys, the whole thing that I'm not going to do is, what did I tell you guys? is that to think that my kids cannot have emotions, and if they do have emotions, it's not my job to belittle them for having those emotions. I'm going to allow them to cry. So that's something I'm not going to do. Tell them that, especially my son, tell him that he's not allowed to have any other emotion than being angry all the time and being tough, right? I'm not going to do that because, guys, a lot of the times, women, I'm hearing you guys women talk about this all the time. We say, oh, no me comprende, he's seco, we can't communicate, we don't do this. And a lot of the time it's our culture who does disservice to the men, the boys that become men, because we train them consciously or or not, that they're supposed to be tough, they're not supposed to show emotion, and they're not supposed to be caring. And that's not okay. That's not okay, guys. We have to hug también our boys. We need to love our boys. We need to kiss them on the forehead. We need to tell them, I love you. It's okay for a boy to tell his dad, I love you, dad. So that's something I'm not going to do. I think that was number 2, guys. I'm not going to be that. Belittle them for having emotions that are very, very much legit emotions. So that's, I've given you 1. I've given you 2. And I'm thinking I'm going to give you guys number 3 that I'm not going to do. And maybe make this into a series. But this is what we're going to do, okay? So, number 3. My daughter is 11 years old, so as of right now, she has said she wants a quinceañera. And in 4 years, she does have a savings account for either a quinceañera or whatever she decides to do when she is going to be 15. But this is the things that I see happening a lot, and I can testify, guys, because I do invitations as a side job, majority quinceañeras. And my twin sister, does choreography of quinceañeras. So it's not that I'm just speaking out of my mind or out of whatever. So what I'm not going to do is imply or let my daughter. No. Let me rephrase it. What I'm not going to do is think that this quinceañera is for me. It is not for me. I already had my quinceañera. I had it, right? So, I think that it's very traditional, or it's the quinceañera itself is a tradition. It's not a must. It's just a tradition. But I think within the tradition of quinceañera, we have also made it a tradition to tell the daughter what the quinceañera is going to look like. We really do a quinceañera to show off to everybody that we could. And that is so bad, guys. So I have seen quinceañeras that have had a full court, 7 chambelanes, 7 damas, but they didn't want that. But because the mom said it was going to happen, then they're going to do it, right? I've also seen where the quinceañera doesn't want to do vals. They don't, and because the mom says you have to, then they force them to. I've also had quinceañeras that have nothing to do with the Mexican genre of music. Like, they don't even know who Grupo Firme is. Let's just put it out there because you guys know I love them. And they will have banda at their quinceañera. And the parents well damn know that their daughters ain't about that. For them, it'll be happy if there was just a DJ putting on nothing but like their list of songs. But because we need to show that we had money for la banda, right? We skip our daughter's emotions. And I'm willing to bet, guys, I'm going to put it out there. Majority of the time when you see them crying in the videos, the quinceañera videos, it's because they did everything their parents wanted and not them. That's why they're crying. But the thing is, that's what I know I'm not going to do if my daughter decides to have a quinceañera. If she doesn't want banda in her quinceañera, there's not going to be banda in the quinceañera, because we tend to forget, guys, that the quinceañera, we are there. We got invited to go to this quinceañera to be part of her 15th birthday. We did not get invited to this quinceañera to have a party for us. And as parents, we need to understand that the party is not for the guest. The guest is our responsibility to make her day memorable. That's it. And give her a gift, because she's going to love that. Preferable cash. So I think that that's something I know conscientiously. I'm going into my daughter's soon-to-be quinceañera or not. I am not going to make it about me. Right now, she's saying that she wants the color lavender. I don't like the color lavender. I think it's a very sad color. But if that's what she wants, that's what she's going to get. I will not suggest any of what I will want. If she wants to ask, then I'll give her my opinion. But again, my opinion does not mean it's a fact. So if she doesn't want to go with it, that's what we're going to do. So come her quinceañera, I'm not going to, if she doesn't want padrinos, she's not going to have padrinos. I think that too, when the parents want everybody in the world to be their padrino, their compadres, right? Because somehow compadres means we're going to be together forever, and it's not the case. So that's another thing. Like, if she doesn't want all that, if she doesn't want to have her brother as a chambelán de honor, then so be it. If she doesn't want anybody, she just wants it to be herself, then that's what we're gonna do. Because again, it's her day, her celebration. So that's another thing that I think growing up with my daughter, on specify on my daughter, that's something I'm not gonna do, to implement all my ideas on her, because yo tengo que quedar bien con la gente. Because al último, you and I know that never happens. Not in our culture. Something always is wrong. So yeah, guys. So I guess this is going to be a series. Look out for it. This is going to be a series of things that I have now psychologically, conscientiously, or whatever you want to call it, have determined that I don't want for my kids. Being that I was raised, and everybody around me was raised this certain way. Well, I'm not going to do that certain way. Because like I said, I feel like there's a time when we need to stop the cycle. If you're okay with little ones drinking and thinking it's cute and taking that picture of them sipping on the Modelo, and you think it's cute that the 16, 17, 18-year-olds are drinking with the grown man, that, and you don't even want to care about the consequences that might happen, that's on you. If you're okay with that, then go ahead and do you, boo-boo. I'm just telling you my opinion. If you're okay with teaching your man to shut the fuck up and not have emotion, you can say hombre, no llore, and tell your daughters that, no llores tampoco, and fuck it, and then you want a reason to cry, te voy a dar una, if you want to raise your kids to be like that, and so be it. Those are your kids. You can do whatever you want with them. Por eso Diosito te los dio. I'm just letting you know. I'm going to be more validated towards their feelings and help them to regulate those feelings and to understand, until they have enough experience in life, even at 25, you can even say that's still not an experience in life, then that's what I'm going to have to do. That's exactly what I'm going to have to do. But like I said, if you don't want to, that's your prerogative. And lastly, for all my girls out there, all my moms that are soon to have quinceañeras, if you want to implement every single idea to your daughter and say, I run the show porque yo estoy gastando mi dinero, you're right. It's your money. Do whatever you want. So, don't come at me. And if you comment down below, good for you. I always respond back. I don't take anything personal, guys. I know in the beginning I'm like, you guys, it just 5-page novels on my Instagram, on my messages. It's too much, because like I said, you're trying not to convince me my opinion is not the right opinion. I'm okay with a conversation. I'm just not okay when you guys convince me or trying to convince me así no son las cosas. It's an opinion, guys. Don't get hurt. So I will see you part 2. There will be a part 2 for this. It'll take a while because I record another one on another topic. But until then, guys, don't forget. My camera's about to start, guys. So, like I said, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. And don't forget to always comment down below. Follow me on Instagram for the next video. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.